Okay, good afternoon. Here we are for part 8 of the Marketing Your Small Firm Lunchtime Webinar Series. Today we'll be taking a look at networking. For those of you who don't know, I'm Chevanie Chevas White, entrepreneur, marketer, designer, educator. Yes, I know enough things. But my two biggest jobs are being a wife and a mom. And that beautiful photo was a photo of me, right? So basically, networking is all about the connection, and it's not just making connections, any connections. It's about making the right connection. So let us say you're having a lovely conversation. You've met somebody from an organization. You're speaking with, so let's say it was a restaurant, and you're speaking with the waiter. You're having a good conversation with the waiter. You're actually making a connection with the waiter. And that's actually a good thing, don't get me wrong. But when it comes on to you now proposing your organization or trying to do business with that waiter's organization, the waiter isn't the person who is making the decision. So what you need to do is to use that waiter to get you to the right connection. And the right connection are those persons who are the decision makers, the influencers. So again, you ask yourself, who influences your customers? Those are the people who you need to be talking to, right? So whether you're using networking to connect with customers, right? So you need to make the right connection, or whether you're using networking so that you can connect with the persons who influence your customers, it needs to be the right connection. So where does your customers gather? That's another question you need to ask. We've asked this question in the last two presentations when we were looking at traditional marketing and non-traditional marketing. That question came up both times. Where do they gather? Because now if you're going to try and network with them, if you're going to try and connect with them, you need to know where they are. So then you also need to look, networking tends to be done on the physical realm. Not that it can't be done via your phone or via the internet, but it's a more personal connection. It's a better connection if you can do that, if you can network with someone personally in the physical realm. And when you're doing that, you need to take into account a lot of things. So, what's your look? What's your tone? Yes, the tone. And we hear our parents say this, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? You need to be able to approach with the correct tone, your voice. How is it that you're speaking? Some of us, and yes, we have to take a very good look at ourselves when we are doing networking. Some of us, when we speak, we either speak too loudly. I suffer from that. Or we speak too softly, right? We need to look at our voice at a tone that the person can hear you, and at the same time, you're not invading their personal space. Because if you speak too softly, what's going to happen is you'd have to go closer to them and possibly invading their personal space. Your handshake. Yes, this is also something that is important. And this is something I've learned since I've been a wee lass. Your handshake can't be too soft. It sends the message that you're weak, and it can't be too firm as well. It sends the message that you are overpowering. Your message. You need to know what it is that you want to talk about. Don't just say, well, you know what? I work at Night Vision Media and I have a graphic design firm, and I'm just gonna wing it. Whatever I'm gonna talk to that person about, I'm just gonna wing it. No, that doesn't make any sense. You have to know exactly what it is that you want to talk about. As a matter of fact, I would say to you, practice that message. Everything that it relates to your personal identity, you should be practicing that in front of your mirror, or with co-workers, or with your spouse or your children, so that they can see how it is that you're talking, how is it that you look, what's your tone like, what's your voice like, is your handshake good, Are you delivering your message properly? These are things that you have to practice before you even start on the networking, before you even start talking to persons. Now, this may vary if you're using your phone or if you're using the internet. So clearly, your look might not come into play when you're using the phone or the internet, but certainly your tone, your voice, and the message that you're trying to deliver, you must have that down. Practice those things either by yourself or with co-workers or with your managers, your supervisors, whomever it is. But you need to practice this before you even start going out and networking. Then another thing, and again, I've said this over and over and over again, almost all of, well, that's not true, not all of the webinars, but a good portion of the webinars is focused on who it is that you'd want to communicate with. Who are they? That's a big question. And I'm going to mention it again, the customer profile. Who are they? What is it? What it is about them? And as much as you can, try and gather some intel on those persons that you're going to speak with. How do they look when they go out on the road or when they're having a meeting? What is their tone like? What is their voice like? What is their handshake like? Yes, you need to find out as much about the persons who you're gonna network with, if at all possible, because not all scenarios will lend to you being able to investigate them from before. But if you can gather intel on those persons, gather as much intel as you can. And it can be as simple as, calling the receptionist of an organization and saying, well, you know what, I'm gonna be having a meeting with the managing director. Could you patch me through to the secretary and find out from the secretary or find out from the receptionist their behaviors, their likes and their dislikes, so on and so forth. The more that you can find out, go on LinkedIn, go on Facebook, go online, do a name search for this person or the organization. Find out as much as you can before you actually start to speak with this person. The more you know about that person, the more you can tailor your message to them, the more you can tailor your look to them, the more you can tailor your tone and your voice and your handshake, right? So I'm not saying to you that you must completely change your identity for each person that you are networking with. But what I am saying to you is you try and skew your personality, your identity, according to the person who you're going to be networking with. Because the more you can connect with that person, the better the connection, right? And the likelihood is they'll adopt your organization, your service, your product. They will purchase, right? They'll spend money with you, which is what you want, or they will go out there and influence others to spend with you and make purchases through you, right? So that's one of the key things with networking. Know yourself and know the person who you're trying to network with. And it's the same strategy that we've been looking at for the last 4 webinars. Know your target to connect with your target. That's the strategy. Know your target to connect with your target. And it goes without reason. The larger your network, the more people you reach, the more people who knows about you, and the likelihood is more people will be spending with your organization. So you're going to find that networking is going to assist you with marketing your small firm or business or your micro firm. And this is one thing that Night Vision Media can assist you with. We, again, have a package in the virtual office, the NV virtual office, called the Advertiser. That's package number 2. And in there, we're going to utilize the networks that we've already established. And if you have persons who are outside of the network that we've already established, don't worry. We can do the investigation for you and liaise with whomever that you need us to liaise with. That's why we are here. That's why the virtual office is in existence. We want to make sure that we make what you do easier. So again, in this advertiser package, you can get a feature article in our Envision magazine. We once a year we host an customer appreciation fair, and you will be able to participate in that through this package. You get a custom email address, you get online and email marketing services, video advertising, custom website, logo design, letterhead design, business card design, flyer design. This is an awesome package. I'm not saying this because, yes, I'm the marketing manager for Night Vision Media. I'm saying this because it is a good package. You don't have many firms that are giving you what we are giving you. You know, we are giving you the ability to not only advertise yourself but also create the design. Not many companies can boast that. So we're making the connections for you, we're creating designs for you, and then we are advertising you to the world. All right, so as usual, our resources, you can find us on YouTube. It will take a few days for us to put that information together for you, but you can find us on YouTube via our YouTube playlist for Night Vision Media. You can also get a copy of the slides on slideshare.net/Chevanese White. And so if you want to download the information, the slides there, you can do that. I've made it available for you. We have some other presentations. We still have a few months left to go. So next month we'll be looking at customer retention, and basically, you've gone out there, you've made yourself known, people are aware of who you are, they've actually made a purchase, so they've purchased your product or they have interacted with your service. Now we need to really be able to keep them, and that's what customer retention will be looking at. In October, my birth month, we'll be looking at management, a deeper look at management. And then in November, we'll be looking at strategy. And as I was saying to you before, at the end of the day, that's what marketing is. What are the strategies that you're going to adopt to make your organization known, right? And tweak that product or service to your customers. As usual, you can contact me via Twitter. My handle is at ChevyNVML, and on Facebook you can search for Chevanese White. Contact Night Vision Media at mynvml@nightvisionmedia.com. Our website is nvml.co. You can search for My NVML on Facebook, My NVML on Twitter, and on LinkedIn you'll find us at Night Vision Media Limited. The virtual office, you'll find the location is 2 Fairway Avenue, Kingston 6. As you can see, there's a pattern. So for the virtual office, it's the NVVO at Night Vision Media. Facebook, just search for the NVVO on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Skype. We have both a Lime and Digicel number that you can use. Lime 876-792-7107. Digicel 876-873-6635. And Lime landline is 906 LOVE LOVE or 5683. Thank you so much for joining us for part 8 of this webinar series, and I'm looking forward to see you in September when we look at our next topic, which is customer retention. All right, take care, and I hope that you are able to find new insights in how to market your small firm. Goodbye.